Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Vintage Cube draft. Pretty good pack here to start. Two fetch lands. That's always nice. Got a Shelldock Isle, a couple of really strong Planeswalkers, and a really weak Planeswalker. Fable of the Mirrorbreaker is pretty good. Hex Drinker is good. Lots of reasonable options here, but I think it's a pretty easy Flooded Strand. Fetch lands are amazing. Blue fetch lands are even better. A few years ago, I might take Jace here, and Jace is still great, but it's not like that card like it used to be. If it somehow were to wheel, I'd be thrilled, but Flooded Strand is just really, really good. Yeah, we'll take this. Okay, now we see a few options. There's a Kiki Jiki. Blue-Red Twin is definitely a good deck. There's a Time Spiral. Really good if we get Narset or if we're in some sort of high tide shenanigans. Um, and then there's Jace. And honestly, I think I'm going to take the Jace. It's not the spicy pick. I realize Time Spiral is the spicy pick. But I think Jace, you don't want to take this second. You want to take this, fourth or fifth when you already have, Ponder, Remand, that sort of thing. It's just way more narrow, whereas Jace is good in any deck. Yeah, we'll take the Jace here. Okay, Echo of Eons is another draw 7. But I think we just want to take the Colonnade. Set up for real. I mean, there's also Temple Garden if we want to go Bant. But yeah, this sets us up with really good blue-white mana. We don't have to be blue-white control, but we can be. And, there's some good white stuff here. I think that is probably the pick. Yeah, I'll take the Colonnade. There's the Zealous Conscript. So if we had taken the Kiki Jiki, we could do that. But given that that is not the lane we're in, we're just going to take the Consider and be pretty happy about that. It plays really well with the Jace. It fills the graveyard quickly, and then it's a reasonable thing to flashback with Jace as well. Mishra's Bauble is also fine. But yeah, Consider is exactly the kind of thing we're looking for. Okay, now we see Breeding Pool, which is good if we want to be Bant, but I think I would rather just take Elspeth Conquers Death. Although with that being said, there are a lot of green cards here. Green might be pretty open. Conquer's Death is good, though. Close pick. Hmm. This is, if we get one of the good gold cards, especially Oko or Uro, we'll definitely want the Breeding Pool. Yeah, you know what? Early on, lands over spells. I think this is the right pick. And then we're rewarded by seeing a lot of good green stuff. I don't think I want to take Craterhoof here. I think I would. Well, I think we should take the Elf. Think through time's also reasonable, but this late of a mana dork is kind of a sign. So we go towards blue green. That seems reasonable. Wrenn and Realmbreaker, not that good, but not terrible. There's also Deep Forest Hermit, which is good if we end up in an opposition deck, but I think I would rather take the Wrenn here. Whoa, late Raphaelos. Late Raphaelos. Okay, I mean, I don't like playing mono green. I don't think it's very good, but that's as much of a sign as you can really get. We don't have the Craterhoof Behemoth. It could theoretically wheel, although I think that's pretty unlikely. Okay, we'll take a Hex Drinker. Yeah, pretty good pickup there. So we could be blue-green still. Consider and Jace both play kind of well in green decks just because you typically have a lot of mana but not a lot of card selection. Okay, do we want Edric, Reclaimer, or Augur of Autumn? I think Edric seems pretty good here. Yeah, we'll take the Edric. Now we see Temple Garden, Time of Need, and Tooth and Nail. Let's take the Temple Garden. Keep the white splash open. Tooth and Nail is good, but it's a lot better if you have a Craterhoof, which we probably won't be getting. None of these are very good. I guess I'll take Usher of the Fallen. Yeah, but probably not play it. Devoted Druid, good late pickup. There's a... Neither of these are that good. I think I'll take the Parallax Wave. Last pick Tishar. Okay. So, interesting start. We didn't get the Crater Hoof, but we have a lot of dorks. We have a lot of fixing. Good place to be. And then we have, plenty of packs to find things to do with our mana. Now we see Polluted Delta, which can get Breeding Pool. Also Arbor Elf, and I think we just want to take the Elf. Yeah, Arbor Elf is excellent. A 1-drop that can add multiple colors. Now we see Preordain, Rogran Triome, Botanical Sanctum. I think we just want to take the Preordain here. At this point, I like the idea of playing blue. We have a reasonable amount of good blue stuff, and this will add a lot of consistency to the deck. Maybe we can wheel Botanical Sanctum. There is also Dismember, which is pretty good in these style of decks that don't have access to much other removal. But I think I'd still rather have the Preordain. We do need to find some ways to win the game. Given that we know we're not going to get Crater Hoof, that weakens our top end a lot. But hopefully we can find, like, some of the good blue, green, gold cards. Okay, there's an Uro. And also Tundra, Pattern of Rebirth. This card is not that good for us. Yeah, we'll take the Uro. Plays really well with Consider, Preordain, Jace. Alright, we're doing some blue-green stuff. Also still with Outs to splash white. If we get like Fractured Identity or something. Okay. Interesting. Savannah's good, kind of. Elspeth is strong. Maybe that is the pick. Does make the mana worse, though. Could take Miscalculation. Could take Survival of the Fittest. Actually, you know what? I kind of want to take Survival. Although it's likely to wheel. Survival of the Fittest is really good with Uro. Smuggler's Copter is kind of interesting as well. I think I'm going to take the Miscalc, though. Yeah, I'll take the Miscalc. It's really premium interaction. Okay, Tropical Island. I don't think I can say no to that. Consecrated Sphinx and Hornet Queen are both good, but I'm not as worried about finding top end as I am about finding elite fixing, especially fixing that works well with Arbor Elf. Okay, Sylvan Library versus Glen. That's a tough call. Both are pretty good. I think I'm going to go with a creature, though. Sylvan is really, really strong, but I guess we already have some card selection. Yeah, let's take the Glen. Now we see Hydroid Krasis. Great late pickup. Court of Bounty is also really good, but I think I like Hydroid Krasis a little bit more. The problem with Court of Bounty, I mean, it is amazing against control and against combo, but we don't have removal, which makes it pretty... like, the opponent can become the Monarch pretty easily. Yeah, I'll take the Krasis. Okay, there's a Zagoth Triome. I think we just take that. Not super exciting, but it's a good card. Primal Command's fine. But yeah, let's take that. Another blue-green land. So, a couple of these white sources we may or may not end up playing. Okay, Terracodon, great pickup. I mean, not the best card, but we need a little bit of top end. Now we can take Loren over Oath. Pattern of Rebirth or Frantic Search. Or Skull Clamp. Skull Clamp seems kind of bad here. But I don't think the other cards are good either, so we'll take this and see if we can get there. Ooh, okay. That changes things. That makes Skull Clamp way better. It also is a good piece of top end and makes me want to splash white. Still don't really want to need these white cards on the board. But yeah, that's a good pickup. Now I'll take Darkslake Shores just in case we get... I guess Mind Twist is already gone. Probably not playing it, but we could. Thalia, good sideboard card. And Parplusion Forest. Okay. So, trying to play some Bant here. The deck looks pretty sweet, honestly. There's Natural Order, which doesn't really look as good if we don't have the Crater Hoof. I think we just want to take the Spar's Headquarters here and maybe cut the Zagoth Triome. Phantasmal Image is also fine. Eldar Call is fine. But yeah, let's take the land. Ooh, Minsc and Boo. That's a card I'm interested in. We don't have very good fixing for it yet. There's also Golos, which is pretty good. I think Minsc and Boo is just too good, though. Yeah, we're going to fight hard to make this work. And there's a Teferi. Also Upheaval, which is actually pretty good in this deck. I think I'd still rather have Teferi, though. Alright, so the real question is, can we make this Minsc and Boo work? Our mana is pretty solid for Bant. We might not end up playing this Raphellos, but that's okay. Now we have Teferi versus these two good blue cards. Probably not playing Skullclamp or Raphellos. Teferi, Remand, Mystic Confluence. Very close. I love Teferi. I think I'm going to take the Mystic Confluence, though. First of all, there's a chance Teferi comes around. But we do have a lot of Planeswalkers, and I love Super Friends. But Mystic Confluence is so good, and we have no removal. Yeah, I think we got to take this. Okay, now we have to take Stomping Ground, probably. Like, Omnath is good. Or we could, actually, maybe we just give up on that and just take Garruk. Yeah, let's do that. We don't even have a fetch land that can find this. And we don't have any fixing that adds red. Yeah, I think we just take the good Planeswalker on the colors. Like, there's Wrenn, but Wrenn isn't even that good if you don't have consistent red mana. So we're going to take Force of Vigor. Or is it better to just take Boseiju? I'll take Boseiju, the good main deck option. Now we see Windswept Heath. That's great. Yeah, no, nothing else is really a consideration. There's Endurance. Brain Geyser. We're not really playing Escape. Maybe we do just take this, actually. Although we're a little bit, like, we started with a bunch of ramp, but we didn't really get more ramp since then. So we're not as high on that as we were originally. But it still is a pretty good card. Yeah, let's take the Brain Geyser. There's a Leovold. How good is our black fixing? Not bad. We could be playing 1, 2, 3, 4 free black sources. Phantasmal Image is fine. Eldarmer's Call is pretty good. But Leovold's really strong. I think we do just take the Leovold here. With 4 sources. Okay, nice. Horizon Canopy. Oust is good. Pest Infestation is good. But I think I would rather take a little more fixing. It's close, though. Pest Infestation is great. We did just take Boseiju. Yeah, I think we can afford to do this. We're going to have plenty of playables. Nice. Perfect. Follow-up. We'll take the Rexage. We're not playing red at this point. I mean, we do have this Minsc and Boo. It just sucks that we don't have any red fetchable lands. I guess we'll take Ramunap Excavator, but probably not play it. So this... we do take this. There's the Wrenn. Oh, man. Okay, alright. We have to do... if we have Wrenn and Six also, we have to play these. So, gotta make a couple cuts. Let's cut Terastodon. I mean... Okay, let's look at the colors. This is going to be tricky. I mean, we could just simplify the deck a lot, but the power level is so high here. This is 12 blue, 13 green, so base blue green, and then 3 white, 2 red, 1 black. So for green, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 green. That seems totally fine. For blue, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 blue. Also seems fine. For white, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. I think that's okay. In fact, 6 is probably fine. For black, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, which I think is fine. And then for red, we have 1, 2, 3. So I'm going to add 2 basic mountains, which might look a little bit weird given how few red cards we have, but the red cards we do have are incredibly good. And, yeah, I mean, that's basically the end of that. The red cards we have are incredibly good. Do we want to try and play Gideon Jura too? Nah, another double white card is a little too much, I think. Yeah, so the thing with decks like this, we're gonna have to mulligan some hands because we don't have enough. We don't have the right colors. That's just a risk you have to take. Wrenn and Realmbreaker actually does fix us, which is kind of nice. And yeah, we'll just mulligan some hands, but then other hands will have the right lands. Even just having one fetch land kind of does it. Like any land plus Windswept Heath gives us pretty functional 5-color mana. So yeah, we'll run like this. I'm excited to see how this goes. See you in round one. Oh, all right, here we are for round one against Cactus Jones. We're on the play with a one-lander, so going to 6. Yeah, this hand's pretty good. Probably putting back Leovold. We don't have that much black mana. Yeah, I think that's the right line. Question is, do we want to lead on the elf? And I think the answer is no. I'm just going to play Sparrow's Headquarters and then play turn 2 elf plus Preordain. Opponent's on 6 as well. The thing is, we just don't have anything to play next turn off of the elf. I'd rather be able to start casting on these blue spells. They have an elf of their own, huh? Okay, so Preordain, we want to find some lands. Not those. Oh no. Okay. Bottom, bottom. I'm sorry. A little bit of lag. I'm going to restart the client in a second. All right. Good draw there to find the second blue source. We'll play this and pass. And then we'll see what they have here. Coalition Relic. That's a little scary. I think I'm going to take a turn to ramp before playing the Brain Geyser. So we'll go Uro, and then next turn we can play Big Brain Geyser. So this can get black. I think I would rather just get an untapped land for Hex Drinker, though. So we'll grab a blue-green land here, presumably. Could shock in for Temple Garden to have double white. I guess that's worth it. And then we'll level up. So next turn we have a few options. Probably what we want to do is just play a big Brain Geyser, especially if we miss a land drop. We're not going to be able to get Hex Drinker all the way up to level 8 next turn no matter what. But if we play a Brain Geyser, then we could theoretically get Hex Drinker all the way up on turn 5. Also, of course, it does depend a little on what they do here. Hopefully nothing too crazy, but they do have a ton of mana. 6 mana on turn 3. Okay, Questing Beast is not too bad. We'll take 4. And then just play Big Brain Geyser. Yeah, still just going to do this. Draw 3. All right. Um, could level this up. I don't think that does that much though. I'm just gonna sequence the tapped land and then pass. We can afford to take another hit, and then next turn we can play a big Krasis. Augur of Autumn. That's kind of annoying because they do have Coven or whatever it's called, so they can just rip creatures and lands off the top. Interesting. I think I will accept this trade. Okay, they don't offer it. So we could level up the Hex Drinker all the way to 6. A few different good options here. I think I'm gonna play Garrick, untap lands, play Wrenn and Realmbreaker, and level up Hex Drinker. Although maybe playing Garrick just doesn't do anything. It's probably best just to play a bigger Krasis, actually. I don't like them having this Augur of Autumn in play, but there's not much we can do about that. Yeah, I'm gonna play this. I'm just gonna do it for 4 though, because either way it's trading with the Questing Beast and drawing us 2 cards. All right, we'll pass. So this is like they can do stuff off the top. They forgot to put a counter on the Coalition Relic, which is good for us. I'm happy to trade Hydroid Krasis for Questing Beast if they offer it, which they do. Fair enough. You have enough mana to replay the Questing Beast here if they want to. Okay, we have to put 6 mana into this to level it up all the way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 mana. So we could play Garrick, untap 2 lands, play it, and then level up Hexdrinker all the way. Or play Wrenn and Six. I think I'd actually rather play Wrenn and Six here. Actually, yeah, let's just play Wrenn and Six, kill the Elvish Mystic. Now they don't have Coven anymore. Then we can play... We're just going to take a turn off of... Yeah, I think this is actually better. We'll play Rex Age, kill this, and then level this up so that it can trade with the Questing Beast. We could have also left the Line War Owls back to trade with the Eternal Witness, but I think this is fine. Do this, pass. And then if they swing everything at us or like send Augur at the Wrenn and Six, we can lose the Wrenn. That's fine. We'll just trade with the Questing Beast. Okay, Survival of the Fittest. Is their last card a creature? Hopefully not. Okay, they just make this attack. We'll accept the trade. We'll accept the double trade. And now we have enough cards in the graveyard to escape Uro. So let's grab an island. Bring back Uro. And I'm going to exile everything except for the Flooded Strand so we can continue bringing back a land with Wrenn and Six. Sure. I guess we could hold that to cycle, but I think just putting a bunch of lands in play is fine here. We have a lot to do with our mana. Um, let's play. Playing Glenn doesn't do that much because the main things we're afraid of are creatures, anyways. So I think I'm just going to get the Jace into play. Yeah, Garrick, untap 2 lands, play Jace. Definitely a good position. We are way up on resources. They do have survival of the fittest, so they can get a Primeval Titan or something here, but that's fine. Uro is as big as a Titan. They discard Thragtusk. But yeah, again, only 6 mana, so that turns off a lot of the scariest things they could get. Vorinclex? Okay, that's fine. It is a 6/6. This card's kind of cool. They get 2 forests. It could even be... I didn't realize it could be non-basic forests, too. They need 8 mana to transform this, which they can actually do next turn. Um, so let's loot. Bring back that colonnade. Swing for 6. And then how much mana do we have? Well, counting the Garrick, we have a ton, so I guess we can do it all. So let's play Glenn. Play land. Untap 2 lands. And then play Wrenn and Realmbreaker. We have 5 mana left. Turning land into a 3/3 doesn't do much, so I'll mill 3 and then return a permanent card. And it's theoretically possible we could whiff, but very, very unlikely. Not the best hits, though. Bring back Stomping Ground, and then we'll pass with Mystic Confluence up. So this, if they... I guess we should just bounce now. What happens if they flip it? They mill 10 and put 2 things. Yeah, I don't think I want to deal with that. So let's just bounce it. Return target creature, draw 2. And I don't want to bounce the Augur because I don't want to let them discard it to survival and to find something good. Okay, Teferi's not bad. We are running a little low on cards in library, but we're threatening to kill them with a Garrick Ultimate here. So I think we're in a fine position. Kind of sick to have both Wrens in play. And then against Mono Green, honestly, bad matchup. We don't have any removal to speak of. They just replay the Vorinclex, that's fine. We could bring in Gideon Jura potentially. We could also bring in Raphellos since they don't have removal for it. Okay, I think the Garrick Ultimate should be enough to win here. Although, I guess Scavengers is kind of annoying against the Glen. Alright, so we animate Colonnade, we use Wrenn and 7, or Wrenn and whatever. Wrenn and Realmbreaker. And then just have tons of huge creatures. So... animate Colonnade. Plus here. Ultimate this. That's plenty. We could also technically like flip Jace, flashback Mystic Confluence, but no need. Okay, so we win that game. Pretty long game one. Gideon looks good, and Raphaelos looks good. Is there anything that looks bad? We did see Coalition Relic for the Loran and the Rex Age. Leavold is probably not important. So we can... well, actually, we still play the Triome, but we can cut Darkslick Shores. The seems also kind of weak. They're mostly creatures. So we could... this is one option. And then we bring in a Plains. Since we brought in another double white card. um... yeah. Yeah, I think this works. Let's run it like this. On the draw, it's not ideal, but we shall overcome. Alright, good hand. So we can get a Temple Garden with this Flood Strand. I don't love Shocking, but this isn't really a matchup where it matters much. They have a fast questing Beast draw, it could. We could also get the second blue source, given that we have the Brain Geyser in hand. Maybe that's better, actually. Yeah, I'll do that. Because it would be nice to be able to ramp into a quick, pretty big Brain Geyser, and then the Brain Geyser could help us find our other lands. Okay, I was worried about Channel, but that's much more mild. In the past, we can play Devoted Druid into Hex Drinker. Alright, not bad. And then next turn we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 mana, so we could Brain Geyser for 4. We could also play Garruk into Jace. It's a lot worse against Questing Beast, though. It's probably best just to draw 4, honestly. They play Augur. They don't play a land off the top, which is nice. Ooh, okay. Um, yeah, I think I just want to play Garruk this turn. So we play Garruk, untap these 2 lands. Play Jace. And pass. And then we have Devoted Druid to untap for Miscalc if we need to. This kind of telegraphs that we have something since we didn't put the mana into Hex Drinker. But they might just think we forgot. And B, even if they know about it, there's not much they can do other than just not playing a card here, but it looks like they are tapping out. Yeah, definitely going to counter that. And then we can play a huge Brain Geyser. This is kind of the perfect last card for us to have here. They don't attack. I mean, we could come back for a lot of damage if we wanted to, but I think it's best just to draw a million cards. Wait, that's 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. We could also just put Hex Drinker at level 8, but that's no fun. That honestly might be a better play, but I want a Brain Geyser for 6. That's what we're here for. I think we're in a good spot either way. Right? Pass turn. This is a pretty key turn. If they don't do something really serious here, we win. Hexdrinker is the kind of thing that could theoretically do it here, but we have Teferi to tuck it, so this doesn't actually work. Okay, that's fine. I feel like they should be sending this at Garrick, but it's fine. Okay. Alright, let's go Forest. And then untap. Wrenn and Realmbreaker, interesting. Let's start by flipping this Jace. I'm just gonna put the Uro in the graveyard. Um, we'll go. I think we want to play just Wrenn and Realmbreaker plus Teferi. So we'll start with Wrenn and Realmbreaker. Um, we'll turn this into a 3/3. Swing in. Yeah, this works. Swinging for 3. We're like playing it kind of slow, but we're just building up a huge board and setting up for a kill next turn with Garrick, probably. Haven't actually done the math, but it feels like this should be enough. Then we go untap 2 lands. Teferi. Tuck Hex Drinker. Yeah, I think I'm just gonna tuck this. Like Coalition, they have some mana with Coalition Relic, but I think that's fine. Then we'll preordain. Don't need land, but I'll take it. Consider. Then we pass back. So what do you have? They could play Craterhoof Behemoth, but we can that's nowhere near lethal. Um, Terastodon could blow up 3 of our Planeswalkers, but we still have plenty of gas. The Garrick Wildspeaker Ultimate is threatening near lethal. If they play Hornet Queen, it's kind of annoying. But we can just go Mystic Confluence to bounce 3 of the tokens. And then shrink another one with Jace. Garrick has made us so much mana this game. Okay, Woodfall Primus is fine. They do kill the Garrick, but I think we can overcome this. It might be time to just go Hex Drinker mode. Although I don't mind the idea of interacting with him a little bit. Ooh, good draw. The Fairy Plus. We have 5, 6, 7, 8. I think I like the idea of putting Elspeth into play. Or maybe we do just go Hex Drinker. The problem is I don't want to get Crater Hoofed. If we don't want to get Crater Hoofed, we probably should go Uro, actually. Yeah. Because this still lets us hold up Mystic Confluence with the Teferi Plus. So let's shrink the Woodfall Primus. I guess I'll minus this. Bring back Rexage. Yeah, I think Rexage is actually better than Minsc and Boo here. In that case, I'm just not. I'm just gonna play the Rexage and take them off of some of their mana. It does mean we don't have Mystic Confluence available anymore, but I think that's okay. Maybe this is unnecessarily greedy, but I do really like setting back their mana. I'll just play this and put this into play tapped. Level this up and pass. Karn liberated, okay. It's not too bad. We should be able to kill that easily. They take out the Hex Drinker, presumably. Oh, they go for Jace. Alright. That seems fine. Don't need that. Hydroid Crisis, jeez. This deck can mill itself very easily. Plus... How close can we come to just killing them? Because we could go Confluence, bounce both of their blockers. That would be 5 mana. Then we put some mana into this, hit them for 10, 11, 12, 13. Oh, we can. I think we can put them to 1. Okay, so I think that is probably the move. Yeah, let's just do that. Bounce, bounce. Because it just put them back so far on board. Return, return, draw. And we'll go level up. Level up. Plus here. And just check the math again. 10, 11, 12, 13, 16. So we cannot kill them. So let's just put them low and kill their Karn. And then we can play Colonnade, which will be a lethal attacker next turn. Kind of wild match here, but I think we're going to be able to shut it down here. So let's go this at Karn, this at you, this at you, this at you, this at you. Ha! Rafellos. I guess we play that. I was going to level up the Hex Drinker, but it seems like it's probably better just to drop the Rafellos into play. So green, green, Rafellos, pass turn. Oh, should have untapped the Zagoth Triome. Oh, we even get to do it. All right. Do your worst, opponent. I think this is going to be pretty tough. If they had land Ugin, we still win with Colonnade. Okay, sweet. So far, so good. We're 1-0. I'll see you in round two. All right, here we are for round two on the play against Mike Vigoke. Yeah, good hand. We'll keep this. I think we're just going to go turn to tapped land, probably. Drop the colonnade. Rather than just leveling this up twice. We can get it to level 3 on turn 3 if we care about that. Opponent's on 6. Hopefully they get a 6 that we can keep. Alright, Tropical Island, Hex Drinker. Okay, we'll level this up once. Drop Colonnade and hit for 2. It's funny that this comes in as a 2-1. Like, it could totally come in as a 1-1 and it would still be good. But they're like, let's push this card a little more. Okay, given this situation, I think... Oh, okay, good draw. I'm just going to level this up so that I can swing in. If they didn't play anything, if they tapped out for a Signet, I might just drop the Edric. But this seems a little better. Start hitting for 4. Hexdrinker is protected from any instants and sorceries. And then, honestly, we could just go level it all the way up next turn if we wanted to. Feels kind of cheesy to win games that way, but there's not much they can do about it. I mean, they could have, like, Toxic Deluge. They could also just storm off and kill us. Actually, we can't get this all the way up, unfortunately. Okay, I think I'm just gonna... Like, they're clearly playing Storm. So let's just play a little slower here. Hit for 4, hold up Miscalculation, and then we can, like, play Glenn next turn or something. This is a pretty quick clock either way, but just tapping out, I mean, we can't even get it all the way up. So, yeah, let's just hit them for 4. They almost definitely just take it. I'd be thrilled if they chump blocked. And then after this, I think I'm just going to untap the Sparrows headquarters now. What I don't want to do is be in a situation where we need to use the Arbor Elf to play Miscalculation, and in response, they just, like, play some instant and wreck us. So I'm going to use the Arbor Elf now. It means that we can't block with Arbor Elf, but I can't really imagine that being relevant. Even if they have a Ragavan, like, it's not that big of a deal. Kind of telegraphs that we have a counterspell here, but I think that's fine. Next turn we... Oh, jeez. Okay, that's bad. They just pass. I think I'm just going to cycle Miscalculation, since I'd rather use Glenn anyways as counter magic. And if we find another land, we have double Glenn. Okay, no land. Hmm. Okay, I'm just going to go for a swing here. Again, it still doesn't really change the clock if we level this thing up all the way. We'll swing, and then hopefully we can resolve Glenn. In which case, it's not over, but we're in a really good position. So they're dead next turn pretty much no matter what. They need to kill us now. They need to have counterspell in to kill us now. One thing about jamming anything is it's pretty likely they have a counterspell, and that will let them loot with Brawl, which lets them dig a little bit deeper towards finding whatever combo pieces they need. But I think it's still correct to play it in the case where they don't have a counterspell, or they do have a counterspell, but they also have, like, Thirst for Knowledge or something. Then I think it will be better to make them use their mana. Okay, Glenn resolved. That definitely doesn't end the game, but looks pretty good now. Pyretic Ritual. I'm not going to counter that. Not going to counter that either. Lots of mana. Do they have two payoffs? Mind's Desire. Okay. This is probably fine. Although Frantic Search is a good one. Definitely. Man. Oh, they have lots of mana. Still no payoffs yet. Jessica's Will gives them more card draw. So the question is if we want to counter the Jessica's Will or hold the Glen. I think Jessica's Will is better than Frantic Search just because it digs a card deeper. They already have tons of mana either way. There's a good chance they can do this here though. Okay, so let's think. This lets them see three cards. If they hit a Storm card, it's pretty bad. They already have basically infinite mana. I think it's worth it to counter this. It's close, but Glenn doesn't work against Brain Freeze or Tendrils in this position. So I think I'd rather cut off their card draw. They might still be able to kill me. Now I'm tapped out. I don't know what they have in their three cards in hand. But there's definitely a reasonable chance they don't have the kill here. Also, even if they do have Brain Freeze or Tendrils, it's not quite lethal right now. Although Tendrils would essentially... Well, yeah, I mean... Tendrils or Brain Freeze don't kill us instantly, but they would be bad. Alright, what you got? Thran Dynamo. Now Tendrils is lethal, so is Brain Freeze. Alright. Good game. It was very close. If we drew a land, we could have won with Glenn, I think. But so be it. So let's bring in Dahlia for sure. What do we not want? Definitely want Leovold. Edric is a little dorky. Brain Geyser is also a little slow. Maybe we cut Brain Geyser. Do we want to bring in a Plains if we're bringing in this Thalia? I think I'm just going to run it like this. We could even bring an Usher of the Fallen if we really wanted to speed up the clock, but it's just pretty weak. Man, close game. It's hard to say. Maybe we could have won if we had taken another line. Not sure. Having both Leovold and Thalia as hate bears that are really effective against them is pretty nice. We also have Miscalc and Glenn, Mystic Confluence, reasonable clock. I think it should be a slightly favorable matchup, but storm is storm. They can always do their thing. Alright, so another Hexbreaker game. We're just going to try to win with that as quickly as we can. We still have the tension between Hexdrinker and Counter Magic. So we're going to try to sink as much mana early in the game into Hexdrinker as possible so we don't need to do as much late. They do have a couple cost reducers here in Baral and Helm of whatever that they could play on turn 2. But I still think it's worth it to just let them do that and try to get this Hexdrinker going. So this goes to 2. Next turn, if we play Mountain and level it up to 5, then on turn 4, we would still have to tap 3 lands. So unfortunately, we don't have enough for Turn 4, full power Hex Drinker plus Miscalculation. So we'll see what they do. If they don't have any permanents in play, I think we can afford to have the shields down. But if they do put Baral and or the other cost reducer into play, we might need to take it a little slower. But I don't want to give them extra time. The best draw would be Thalia. If we could just go Horizon Canopy Thalia, put Hex Drinker up to a 4/4 next turn, that would be amazing. Just start swinging for 6 and taxing their spells, holding a miscalc. Alright, this is annoying. Come on, opponent. Obviously, you don't have any plays here. Just keep the train rolling. Mountain and Signet. Alright, that's fine. Loran, great draw. Great draw. I don't think I'm going to use the Loran ability. I don't want to give them extra cards. But just a 2/1 that trades with their turn 2. Not bad. Mana Flare. Okay, so we can level this up all the way and leave up Miscalculation still. That seems great. So they're on a 2-turn clock. We have Miscalc available. Of course, Miscalc is less good when they have Mana Flare in play. Alright, take 8. It's going to be kind of hard for them to do it here. So we could use Miscalculation here, which would make them use a blue mana. Honestly, that seems worth it. Yeah, I think I'm going to do that. And then they'll have 5 mana, 5 red mana and 1 blue mana left. Like, I think otherwise this Miscalc will trade with red mana, and I'd rather trade with blue mana than red mana here. It's not really about actually countering the spell, it's just about making it so they can't continue comboing. Baral, but they only have red mana available. This is just until the end of this turn. Yeah, I don't think this works. Oh, I didn't realize they hadn't played a land yet. Okay, so they can play Tendrils now, which is nowhere near lethal, but it is like, I mean, it keeps them alive for a while. So they played Seething Song, Jessica's Will, Baral. I played Miscalc, then Tendril, so this will hit for 10. Still not going to play the Loran here, or use the Loran. All right. So I think we just hold up Mystic Confluence here. We could play Elspeth, but that barely even speeds up the clock. Dahlia, good draw. I'll put this into play so we have black mana in case we draw Leovold. And then we hit them for 6. We kill them in 3 attacks. Actually, we could kill them next turn. If we hit them down to 11, we have 11 power on board. So if they tap out for something, we can play Mystic Confluence to counter whatever they play and bounce the Brawl. They do still have Mana Flare in play, of course, so they have lots of mana. We'll see what they're able to do with that. None of these cards are really very effective. I mean, Terrastodon could be good. It's good against Mana Flare. Like, Elspeth is just so bad. Maybe we'd rather have Terrastodon than Elspeth. She's like a 6 mana play that swings for 3 on turn 7, then swings for 6 on turn 8. Do they have Yawgmoth's Will? Rafello seems okay. Gideon is probably better than Elspeth, but still bad. Usher of the Fallen is probably better than both, just because it lets us be a little more aggressive. Hmm. Okay, they have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mana left. So counter, counter, draw. And if this resolves and they don't have anything else, the game just ends. If they have a counterspell of their own, then they do get to survive, but they're still at 4. They lose their Baral. We get to play Elspeth. Seems like a good position. Okay, that does work. So they have 5 mana. We have Thalia in play. They can't kill us with Yawgmoth's Will. They would need something weird. Yeah, it's helpful that we've let on Hexdrinker both games. That gives us a much faster clock. This deck is pretty slow in general. Alright, this opponent's really taking their time. We'll pause for a little bit, see if they do anything. Alright, our opponent just tanked for like a long time and then conceded. We'll take it. How do we want to be faster for game 3? I think this is a good change. Edric seems kind of dopey. I think Usher of the Fallen might be better. It's bad against Baral specifically. Maybe we play Rafellos. Yeah, I think this seems fine. Alright, we'll submit like this. On the draw here. There's Rofellos, but we have no forests. That's kind of hilarious. I'm gonna keep it still. I wish this Rofellos was anything else though. Imperial Seal on turn one. All right. We have Loran to deal with some things they could be sealing for. Teferi, okay. I'm just gonna get the colonnade down. Fair enough. So we pass. Next turn we can play Rofellos. It adds one mana, so it's not broken, but it still adds one, and it will add more over time, presumably. We also have Loran available if they play Mana Flare. That'd be kind of sick if they played Mana Flare. We could just go Rofellos into Loran. No Mana Flare. Rakdos Signet. Okay, do we want to kill that? Hmm, kind of close. I think the answer is no. I think I'd rather get Rofellos into play. Maybe not. The thing is, we're a little constrained on our other colors. So what do we even do if we untap with Rofellos on turn 4? We could have 6 mana, but that doesn't do much. But also, I don't think this Rakdos Signet does that much either. So I think I am just going to do this. We'll see. I mean, we could get burned here. Signet does give them more mana. But if they just don't do anything relevant, they just pass. What is this? Grand Dynamo. Okay, that is something we need to kill for sure. Okay, good draw. So let's play Tropical Island. Then Rofellos will tap for 3. So if we play Tropical Island, Rofellos taps for 3. We have 7 mana. We could play Loran plus Hydroid Krasis for 2. I don't know if that's worth it. I think we just want to play Teferi and tuck Grand Dynamo. Yeah, that seems better. Then we set up for a huge Krasis later. So Teferi, -3 on the Thran. So we get to attack their mana a little bit, and then next turn we get lots of card draw going. They still have a lot of mana for this turn. But if they don't do anything too significant with it, we get to untap with the Fairy and Rofellos, play Loran, play Krasis. Between all that card draw, we can probably find some counter magic. I like our position for sure. Turn will have 8 mana, so we can play Loran plus a 5/5 Krasis. And then we'll also get to untap 2 lands at the end of the turn with Teferi, which means we can hold up Miscalculation if we find it. And then we could also just draw towards some of our hate creatures like Leovold and Thalia. Okay, they just passed. That's great. Let's draw. Wrenn and Six doesn't do too much. Play land. Loran. And then I think I'm gonna hold up Beseju here, rather than playing 5/5 Krasis. We'll play a. Maybe we just play Wrenn and Six actually. Like just playing a tiny Krasis doesn't seem like the right move. Well, we could play a 3/3 Krasis. Yeah, let's do that, I guess. And then we're still gonna get to hold up Beseju um because of the Teferi on tap. Okay, good draw. And then we can start bashing for 7. All right. Ooh. Good draw. So I think we just want to play Terracodon, blow up 3 of their lands, just put them as low on resources as possible. So Rafellos has for 3. That means we have 9 mana. We don't have enough for Terracodon plus Thalia unless we draw another forest. Okay. So we'll go land. I'm just going to play an untapped land to play around days. I don't think it's likely they have days, but you never know. Oh, should have attacked for 2 first. Slight misplay there. And then I'm just going to leave. Yeah, I'll just leave the Hydroid Crisis back. Nice. All right. 2-0. Pretty good. We'll see you in the finals. All right, here we are for the finals against Steph Miss. We're on the play, and we have a good hand. We can keep this. Question is, do we want to get blue-black or blue-white here? We have the black card in hand, so we probably should get Zagoth. Okay, don't love that. Don't care too much about the Lion's Sash, but don't love the turn 1 Mox. Call. Yeah, actually, this card kind of wrecks our hand. Good against Uro, good against Jace. Jeez, very, very strong start from the opponent. Um, kind of loot in case we can find a land for Leovold. We need to find an untapped blue source. We don't find it though. So let's discard Canopy. We're just gonna have to play Uro and just accept that it's gonna die or get exiled. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to settle this in game 2 and 3. And this is probably not a great matchup. Although, granted, they're on the play with a Mox. It could be a lot less scary if they have a slower draw. But the problem is we have such bad removal. We don't really have good ways to kill Adeline. We can bring in Gideon Jura. We could potentially bring in Parallax Wave. But we're just taking so much damage now. And like, we ramped a little bit, but we're not really ramping into anything that's that effective. They hit us back for 4, 7, 8, 9. Yeah, man. Very, very strong start from the opponent. Take a draw. Desperation Loot. Guess we'll preordain. I don't even know what we're digging for though. Like a way to deal with Adeline is the answer to what we're trying to dig for, but there's not much that we could draw here that would do that effectively. Okay, you got me. Yeah, that was not going to be a game we win. We need to get out ahead of them, basically. We need to stick Planeswalkers before they're able to really start going. Let's cut Brain Geyser for Gideon. And I kind of want to bring in this Parallax Wave too. Maybe that over... There's nothing in here that's terrible. Let's cut Edric. And then I think we want to bring in a plains over the island since we brought in some double white stuff. Alright, and then we'll submit like this. And just, I mean, yeah, we're on the play, which helps a lot. Hopefully they don't have a Mox. Triple 5-drop. Bad mana. Yeah, that's not good enough. Okay, this we can keep. Let's put back one of the 5-drops, which I think will be Mystic Confluence. And then we're going to be curving out, so I'm just going to shock here and delay the decision on what to fetch until we have a little more information. Probably getting Tropical Island. Could also just get basic plains, actually. And then if we find another land, we can play Gideon on turn 3. Okay, I am going to get the plains, or a white source. Yeah, the only untapped white source we can get is the plains, so devote a druid, hit for 2 and pass. And then hopefully we find land for Gideon, otherwise we can just start bringing Hexdrinker up and try to get a little aggro. Much slower start from the opponent, of course. Wow, they don't even have anything on turn 2. Okay, let's just level up Hexdrinker 3 times. Do they have the Swords to Plowshares? Nope, alright. We have a plan. Hopefully this Hexdrinker can go the distance. Take 4. Council's Judgment would deal with the Hexdrinker. They could also have that, like, off-brand Oblivion Ring. Blade Splicer. Okay, that's pretty weak. I think I'm going to Loran to kill the Golem. And then just keep beating for 4. They should probably just jump block here, although maybe they have a Soul Herder or something. Now we get 2 looks to try and find our 5th land, or our 3rd land, which at this point is certainly going to be just level up Hexdrinker instead of Gideon. Elite Spellbinder, that's totally fine. Our hand is kind of trash. I mean, well, actually it has some good cards, but they take the Parallax Wave. We are looking for land. Nice. All right, sweet. So we take down game 2. Both of those 2 games were not particularly competitive. Hopefully we get a more back and forth one for game 3. Do we want to bring in Raphellos? We haven't seen that much removal from them. It seems kind of interesting, especially because I don't think Miscalculation is very good. Yeah, I think that is a good exchange here. Leovold's also not very good. I think I'd rather have Ramanap Excavator, and then we can cut Darkslick Shores for another forest, maybe. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 green sources. Yeah, I think I will play one more forest for Fellows. And we'll submit. Alright, let's go. For all the marbles. Good hand, no blue mana. Actually, is it a good hand? I think I will keep it, but it's pretty awkward. But we have a turn 1 Dork. We have 3 of our 4 colors. Island gives us Preordain. Plains gives us Gideon. Obviously, this hand has a fail rate, but most hands do. And like most lands. Oh man, another Mox draw. Okay. All right. Drawing a blue spell was worst case scenario, of course. No land. All right. Not out of line, please. Blade Splicer. Elite Spellbinder. Okay, that's fine. It's not great. It's fine. Can we get a blue source or a white source or a castable spell, please? That doesn't seem like too much to ask. No, we cannot. All right. If we do fall here, it's a tough way to go down. Just never casting any spells. We're not under that much pressure. It just depends on how much they can follow up with, I guess. Second Mox, brutal. I'm just taking this. I think I'd rather hold up the chance of being able to play Gideon. White Plume Adventure. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty much over. I won't concede yet. If we find a white source right now and can play Gideon and it resolves, then we could maybe win. Come on, deck. Give me the planes. Give me the white source. Boom. Uro. Brutal. Alright. Terrible last game. And honestly, terrible last match. None of the three games here were very interesting or fun. Um, that's Magic sometimes. That's the risk you run when you play these multicolored decks. I think one more draw step, but it's pretty over at this point. We're taking 9. I will block here, I guess, because we're planning on finding a white source, so we have 5 mana either way. I mean, I think even if we find a white source, we're dead. That is terrible. Having 5 lands and 5 cards in hand and you can't play anything. uh, Tough ending. Definitely a tough ending. Let's pull up the deck list. I mean, we kind of knew that was going to be a problem, and maybe we should have just shipped that hand. I think we drew like exceptionally poorly. Like drawing 2 blue spells and a double white spell. Like we only had one other double white spell in the deck. I guess we did have a lot of blue spells, but like, if we ever draw like Rex Sage, Devoted Druid, Wrenn and Realmbreaker, Garrick, like those are all solid draws, then any land in our deck would have been a good draw pretty much. Um, I think it was a keep. Obviously, it did not work out, but the deck was pretty sweet. This is the kind of deck that just needs more fetch lands. Like I think Omnath decks are really fun. If we could just have like 2 more fetch lands and then we play the Omnath and play Teferi, like 3 mana Teferi or something, perfect deck. Love that sort of thing so much. As it was, we really needed to get a little bit lucky to make the mana work, but I think it was still a good deck. We had good consistency from Consider and Preordain and Jace to dig for lands. A lot of 1 mana plays. A lot of different cards that could take over the game. We never got Minsc and Boo, unfortunately. But still, pretty sweet league. Thank you for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next time.